So I see how I felt somehow more functioning on the I don't know, more functioning somehow on the etheric level, and it's better functioning. And it is kind of strange because normally when we do something or feel are ready to do something, we first think about it, we have the ideas and attitudes and reasons and whatever. But when, at least for me, when functioning from the etheric level, it is just that I do something without previously thinking about it or planning it, and it turns right, it turns on the spot. It somehow it's what's supposed to be done in different areas, whatever. And I'm better in seeing the bigger picture and connecting the dots, understanding the different layers of the matrix, obviously, yes. And but when it comes to the whole of life, I somehow seem to myself rather passive. This is how I perceive myself, although I know the difference, I know what's real between simulation and the whole of life. And I support people explaining those things or telling them to sing you and to get more objective views from the life itself. But somehow my real side experiences and insights, daily insights and things like that are somehow, I don't know, steady, turn down, whatever. It is like as if I feel like I'm in that black, how do we call it? Deep dark border or whatever. So I feel like being there and just going out from there, either down or so-called or up when dealing with life. So that's it. I don't know whether it makes sense to other people, but this is how I lately perceive myself. Thank you.
Thanks, Vesna. It sounds like you're like pivoting off certain areas of yourself to see and to work from, or to gain more awareness from, that's what we do. We have all these bodies and we have different ways of utilizing them, and and that's where the creativity and cleverness and all that comes in, to see how we can manage. First of all, like Kevin said, the personal self, or RT said, the personal self is our main problem. Managing the personal self, but still utilizing it as we need it here to see the comparison of it, creation, and the real awareness. So it's just utilizing parts of ourselves to see what is really going on. And it's a huge opportunity. People are so dumbed down and literalized that they don't see all the opportunity here in creation to to wake up. So, yeah, and that's why we're here to give opportunity to people to see more.
People live here in, we all live here in so much overload of information that we somehow become desensitized about everything, and that is for sure one of the what the controllers do on purpose. All that, all those artificial fields and frequencies and everything is very confused and overwhelming for most of people, and creating all the fear causes, so-called fear causes with everything. So people evidently became, the more they are focused on themselves and their personal selves, they evidently become more literally stupid and literally less able to see anything which does not concern their personal selves. And even if they do see, they do not feel the need to see it more objectively or discover other options and things like that. So it becomes totally somehow impossible and fruitless to talk with people about anything which exceeds their personal lives. They neither have understanding, because what we take for granted, like being in a kankar or in another spiritual paths of the old schools, so those people who were within those at least had the opportunity to learn something about, I don't know, subtle levels, and how, and even then they do not really understand. They sometimes know the theory about how the, I don't know, astral level or causal level works, functions, but they do not put it in practice because it stays somehow theory for them. But most people, at least here, have never ever come into the contact with, are not familiar with that kind of facts, how the creation works. So they do not have either patience nor interest in listening about it or talking about it or finding out anything about it. So I guess, and it is, I see it going worse and worse every day with their focus and objectivity, even about personal self. So it becomes very somehow senseless to try to talk to them about anything real, actually. So that's how I see it. So that's, and we can see it at some point. There were um, twice as much people at those calls, and nowadays are just a few people. So we see that same process mirrored at our calls. Okay, so it is the pressure of survival in simulation seems too much for most of the people, and I guess that kind of pressure would be just growing, because the controls do everything to uh, enlarge that kind of pressure in every possible way. So it takes a lot of previous lifetimes of doing this and being involved, and it takes a lot of focus really to stay up to make a decision every day, to let life show you what is real actually, and making that being essence or being reality the the real one. Thank you.
Thanks, Vesna. Yeah, going back to the controllers and all what they're doing, and it takes a person some willingness to see, beyond that. And that's what Dwayne has done here. He's given us an opportunity to see something more. He's defined it, and that's even in the corporation. Paul said, we don't have a soul, we are soul. But what does that mean? There is nothing said from what I remember in the corporation or anywhere in the spiritual paths that there's two of us, a personal self and a real awareness. So just that, to distinguish that, is a big piece of awareness there, that we're dealing with the personal self and managing that. And we are U-tune, soul waking up is U-tune, we say now, but there's actually like two of us here in creation. So people don't even get, if you don't even have that piece of information, it's hard to get through this stuff. If you're a spiritual person, depending on, well, I'm soul, I'm a soul, I'm soul. But that's, again, there's so much more to this, and that's where Dwayne comes in, defining this, all these things that we have taken for granted and are looking to see more with. So that's a big thing there, defining this journey, you could say.